na said your call parliament na can na just na make no some come for frank backbenchers on to wonka there was ya say ye adwuma as a parliament adwuma no kra why be e pay dada yodi
over me just over lawyer ba na say committee no backbenchers committee come
sir
backbenchers no ways and means committee.
Ways I know that they almost created some time ago.
And a backbenchers
committee. Tomorrow I'm here more backbenchers. Right now, so my lawyer Kwaba. Na yeninko lawyer Kwaba. Official pass so. If you say you try by we, you say at any day the guy no a share or match so. Aye, na me so ho ye pa.
Already adom no mo payable. TSD that is you man kasa.
That's right. Like Parliament, you want to say of an easy cry. Why? Now you work as a lawyer, no legal advocacy. Now, well, who knows? Say go work could do on no Zamba could be no cabos. Now you started flowing. How did you get it? Parliament, you no quiet. Who say?
Yo, ready. What my Miss Alcoin, the minion, so na men so menchia, me man for ne, men pesua so me for our mutie fidiem, Jisu mutie pa, to me chair, me conscience in penny for the party in penny for na, near Edin Chakes, so I'm a crew up him so. Now, back to your question, me did say, yes, and say, we see you who to her Emma Mary say, and what I can say is say, Mubino, na idea a pessia yenti, a meaning no cranny, as a honkakra, and said they were kind. Say, oh, ye a lawyer for Jumana, ya na a mao, when Rebecca say, maybe advantage kakra, if he say, it may be an original court, I will know who give. Ohwe emra kesi mienu edi adwuma parliament or your constitution no any standing orders no at least for a lawyer there will know and sign the constitution no unim dada and standing orders no so say ye rules edi adwuma high court yeah nti eno so no money a bit easier to grasp and I think say the other one so be well I can say be a medjuma say me ye ochichi ni no so maybe a jenny penny no so ebua but you know no me just say the most important thing ama etimi asha say say if you see assume your mind assume your party na assume your constituency nti no ma ahokeka foforo hwe your party na baby a party na original no enye no nti no adebia na ye bia nse na be fan say ye ba kon so say ye mienu we always have to work harder than the usual with the number 8891 yentimi yen behave you know as if we had the 169 we had already. It cannot be business as usual. We have to act faster, we have to act decisively, and we have to act with more urgency. Especially our cover for no yetimi boy empanyu for ni chidoma ebeboa my partner as afan to my friend. So it's a desire to serve our country, the desire to help our party come back to power, and ultimately the desire to serve our constituency. And ma emubietimi ye kakre.
No say majority ndo mkesi hunhunamo. Ko me kai say on the day of inauguration I was in Parliament. I've heard said omu piamoa question China. How do you feel? Mo trust now her speaker and then the majority now her more kakre. Do you feel intimidated?
Well, intimidation they know. Okay. Not at all. In fact, numbers na dey and me just say NPP for nyina I would say a boy who na should serve as a catalyst for us to work hard for the 2028 election. But a human parliament in India, and we who said, look, a bar and Russia Bedja Fina, not a day by way of seats and yeah, Juma, and to me find say a drew decision, say, see, make a decision in Biana. what do I want then or do so it me do I want then open. But aside that, when it comes to debate on the floor, when it comes to discussing issues, and it toe to toe. Then saying the 94 episode. Idea and can exactly. But we fought against it. The leader, Honorable Maakye, made very sound, solid arguments. He said, look, apart from the constitution and the standing orders, we are also guided by precedents, and conventions. And by precedent and conventions, from 1993, I started, the two parties, they've had varying numbers. NPP once had 63 against 120 of NDC. NPP came all the way to 169 against NDC's, I think 106 also. There was not a single time party can say they are holding a bit determine the number of people who speak on the floor. So if there's a motion near debate here, if it's 5 on the left, there'll be 5 on the right. If it's 10 on the left, 10 on the right. And so for the NDC to now introduce this idea, say say debate be bad. Say nipa miensa wo musa de kasa ansa na ya kasa ba kwa say they want to stifle us completely. And I think that the speaker also did well by way of his ruling. Say, look, the parliamentary democracy now Partisan. One of the sayings when they say the majority will have their way, but minority will have our say. So
democracy is like a
exactly. And so you cannot take our say away from us. But for me, I was worried that the majority was pushing that angle because when him say, "Yeah, no more referee say." Enka hoda that chumbe
set is our president exactly.
And the tables will turn eventually. So eventually after speaker's ruling
committees na how is it say na mo chair no and also sa tresu ana bibisa bem because in the committee in the area numbers you see something like that.
Yes, committees they are holding and so it's very sad. Committee be 17 and people for also be 6. They are those one
110.
Yes. They are Kenyan NDC.
They always say what they so.
And I mean that's how it's always been. Say yeshisha by your strength, on your numbers, and see I feel na your committees never because it be a Jumano Beshas because committees honor government policy at the Nebama discuss and sana about plenary. So yes, that is how it is. But hopefully drew a honor and because the honor pete magro into there are a lot of ways that we can really make our input and be heard. The policies in baby say maybe for want of a better word, I say so that when we are out there, let's say at the floor, at the end this no argue say but at least at the committee levels it me ajija tumnia idea because ultimately that is what is important. I'll say it me idea I don't ever want to come to a situation I will have to choose between my party and the country because obviously I cannot choose party. I have to take the side of the country. And you say it doesn't matter. Once at the end of the man or see to me so for instance, I've always maintained said about the fight against Galamsey, there should be no reason why it should be partisan.
Okay.
And look, both parties, NPP, NDC, have used the Galamsey as a weapon, as a campaign tool to fight against each other. It didn't end well. In the end, Nipa war, my best offer. So I've always said that look, made them feel say I was a president after the party leadership. Do maybe I see a Galamsey conference near the and say VIP, and can you imagine VIP more friends some Galamsey conference when the MPs and DC for one free. So yes, I mean, how do you fight it? I think that the very top echelon of our political parties must meet. This is what we must all agree. Let's all sing from the same playbook. Now you to fight here, because if NPP is going left and NDC is going right, there's no way we can fight this menace of Galamsey.
That has been our problem.
Yes,
policy be a mobile pine. You hold the direction.
And for me, that's a worrying situation. For mine, look, political parties in the but we did to me so that you are mine here. And intermediate idea I've been discussing with my friends. Say, look, we should get to a common ground, especially. I think that maybe we can fight about everything. But Galamsey, look, see, this is saying so. Say a forest cover, no. It make a boom, a fight in a year. Boy, what you are currently doing.
Like committees, been at also.
Well, that's interesting. So, while it's out there, I'm on the standing order. Subsidiary legislation committee.
Okay.
And then I am the vice chair of the Committee of Environment, Science and Technology.
Okay.
And then I'm also on the local government committee.
Committees in your powerful power. Local government.
Well, I mean, the leadership of the party in Parliament, the party leadership in Parliament, and the main alcohol was where the friend of subsidiary legislation. Juma and we share law beyond the airlines and then the CIs near the end here, especially the allies, because law beyond we are act there is the implementation part of the law, regulation. Into regulations, they come to the subsidiary legislation committee for us to look at. And into the and at least with my background as a lawyer, for me, it's a way of contributing. And I am also an environmental law practitioner.
I see.
I practice environmental law, and I'm also a natural resource law, lecturer. So again, when it comes to the environment, science and technologies, it's a field I believe that I can really contribute, because that's an area I've been teaching for the past 10 years. Our environmental laws in Ghana. I've been teaching that for the past 10 years, more than 10 years, So again, so the committees, you have strength, and of course, local government is also one area I really appreciate and I understand. The leadership felt that in these committees I can function properly. So, from all these committees now.
I was for your name lawyer John Dankwah, honorable member of Parliament for Swabe and Aiding Como and I no pay or match with so. Lawyer, what are your expectations? What's your budget here, Ebe? Tassi be a flu, maybe be camo. Mr. By now, they want to take you once.
Well, in terms of budget, they say from the NDC's campaign and I guess from the State of the Nation address, in Msumbe taxes, we are expecting say e-levy will be abolished. We are expecting say betting tax will be abolished. They told us that they will bring the road toll, Kwanson and Tobuano. My only worry is that as you can see, e-levy more betting tax. From what we are gathering, omode question data mo. Inti menu there be a phone so ye di ye adwuma no afi data bo be den ama untumi ento data. But media, I would say the budget will be deemed successful, and that's in my view will be good if we are able to tackle the galamsey through this budget. What is the government's policy direction? How much are we investing in fighting and stopping galamsey? For me, that is one. Again, the budget will be deemed to be successful if there's a policy to arrest the depreciation of our currency. Where I said, me magazine ha na minnu mu kokwan so ekoto enema ba said the enema bo because of the depreciation of the cedi. If there's a policy direction betimi arrested the depreciation of the cedi nama cedi na na so I would deem the budget successful. Again, I would deem the budget successful say etimi aboa ema say dumso asha see unity no etimi everywhere. Me ba kuma say there be a magazine me tipa say there be dum light. In fact, I have filed a question to the Minister of Energy. I believe that coming days, you also about no answer our Parliament on why we have a lot of doom in the Ashanti region, especially from in my constituency. Yeah. So if the budget is going to address that, I'll be very happy. Again, the budget needs me addressing the food inflation. Air cost so the because when you're doing near baby no habit me won't me any share so no so bema aduane bo akofom na ye nyina ho atoy. Look, let me tell you this, me NPP ni kron but me pese me who budget papa. I want this government to succeed. Pese aban we no etimi succeed. Look, aban succeed no man no ho toy nia ekoye me nyina. But we believe in the NPP. Say, look, even in their best efforts, and we really want them to, because woman says, and you know, man, so we are looking out for the budget. For me, these issues are there are many others, but for me, it may address it. Galamsey, you address the dollar problem, you address the food inflation, now you address it dumswa. It will be a good budget.
But at the back of me, who are mountain debt.
Yes.
You cannot be a air cordon. Are you?
Yeah.
My penis or the minister 60 penny. None only a good approach say presidential staffers near the or the other countries are the other drew bear 100 crab. Cutting down expenditure. Who say a is he on course?
Okay, good. It's early days yet to determine say they are really ready to cut down expenditure. It's really early days yet. But I say Dankwah da Drake kakra no hwe presidential staffers na. In fact, let me tell you, let me say this. Enye nra na meba na mekwa yase ewo so me na menim say your presidential staffer in charge of Ashanti region kura
regional organization.
Yes. Yeah. Where from that also?
I see.
We don't want to appoint deputy regional ministers, right? No, appoint the presidential staffer. Omo pay no omo bibi omo jibi as a regional minister. And intino I say office say or show picture be say or no there one ministers be and so presidential service no kambo any omu position ne omu sika omojina e be there to say cabinet ministers. And Abuja Napa was right. For me, really because a window dressing, I said, or the dada keke. But like I said, it's early days yet. We're appointing system ministers. Anchor on the face of it. Obeka say you are cutting down on the budget, but those ministries, staff no.
And there's something
because you see, we share. My friend say budget our particular ministry. That's say let's say 500 million Ghana cedis. Minister ne free on pay ne pex ne na okay can boma. I am not sure say let's even the worst case 100 million on that minister. 400 million said that so. And you know as you see a category cost so but there has to be a very genuine way of reducing our debt. The debt stock is getting serious. Look, o mind be faswa utimi enya usika eyeto. Na obenya to a eye adwuma a wo kru ni mu no ena mato ba. Eni nti hwe emrantie bebebe wo kru mu a yenya adwuma no. Tinkobi eye adwuma no otua ni PAYE a. Oh, pay as you earn. Na ekọ abanfo tuoma. That would be enough money.
Yeah.
You see, no, or man, as a baby, you're funny pa a government sector. Government sector, no, so cry, no, no, you don't generate money. Oh, you don't generate money. And in the mefa say police for your police military, you generate this kabia.
Yeah, tax kakrana
and so what can help us to cut down the cost? And they say, and near be briba, you're consuming okrum hano. A very important. Me ya ne hame. If you say Drew baby ubi fear and I say be demon and I say at any point in time me there be a example yen hwe fear ha yet say Kessben ha. Say nye table ya bibi o ha bia imported. Nye table ya table kwem na bi kura e di free China mpo na eba. So I say how can we build a country there?
Really, you're building here. Yeah.
Okay, and my idea. So the problem is that say ubia ye adwuma wa ha and you otua task kakra bo mine na and no any idea see me ani ku hu pa see behwe. How is it that a country like Ghana you import jene, you import tomatoes, you import a bro and no how Sikit me say ni money pani tua omo taxa enka ye nkwaje bosia because fa ni ma ejini ya bosia aban ba ya omo kan bosia say do you know say as a matter of fact every week every day be omo baka omo bosia over 6 billion.
Yeah, every week be a T-bills on ton bills.
And how do you reduce your debt if this is how you're going? Because when this got berry and it's sad. Say Omano yeah konesa because so president and move bia bosia no do kobo to petrol ye to baby ayako. It's worrying situation. I'm not blaming this government as successive government. We need to do something about it. Say be any bit me and generate sika.
What call parliamentary? When you say the working to be a team called Bosia. I was a Bosia idea was the na a generate income no. You who sa Sikano so asa. So be idea be your source of concern over him pay.
Yeah, you know, say you know concern and me the many be if you say me I always say or mine ye idea MPP ye nenya we should condemn it. And this is ye nenya we should condemn it. If you say see Kwajibusia say me fancy the be a kwan near totally road na it should be able to pay for itself with years. Then so no any per day contract in the man or quite only ye into road or say any 5 years, 2 years. Now say tolling company or to one crown. Oh yeah, look, a man young can no quench and crew minia. It's sad. The way ye be na ubia per se or yard or be a padipa and see and cannot quench. Look, and let me try. Me constituency. Me say me municipal chief executive Obano. And be Kansas say me ye pa. And we are na me nam magazine. And me magazine for mo tie me. Me just so mo any media making. Ufri Matthias Johnson or call post office. On the right, me say a car windshield. A papa near pile ego. All right, and you remember dream say why are these things here? We are Sunday we are pilot the Google changes and I'm asking myself, we know what has happened. Which seems to be a beginning day be na a crack and what to new one and what there should no corner old one ego. Now who are we say Jumano? It's your responsibility, say. Sir glasses in be dispose them of properly. If you go on say by me, a dear any bit me I know near the go. Look, Saturday anwumre me fa kajetia. I was sad. Ewura pa egu ne ayi plastics. Anwumre na mfrem me fa na pija no. And I'm asking myself, I didn't hear I didn't know no so and so koto adia rubber with me from coffee na undisposable of property.
That's been crazy on phantom.
I mean, how? I mean, sure, about plastics, me no me fear. Me fear, me were idea kitchen we 2 ball and egum. But plastic be fear be ye plastic na ye kota dia near de go. Inti ewura kitten na no kitchen hole. Idi kan de gum near bonipo. So you are reusing it. It's me and son and our chair emrama boiler for me fanimano. No makeka we ni na bom nti ubetu se fi ho kra bom because ade bia be the good plastic to me achechire the good plastic to me achechire ansa na boiler for no ba e dia ma omo akoto agu ade a wo to a unhia plastic di nti na oje wakọ akoto nsu baako e wo shop
bottle water yes
ama plastic
me what mama amenye
bije and we need the certain oji ya no eyi no to form no we bi nsu no so no anom I see a education when you now go from when Minister for Environment came for vet and I asked him this the question the answer no many anyeho but I think that there has to be deliberate policy as I say a be banning the importation of plastic bags no and I say you be taxing so much it will be so expensive and I bring me plastic bag no cost shopper first no more the chair Walmart ni ade see o moton nti o ton o mo se o sa de baby ma
ya sa
ya bebo nti upa
is a video bi a o do bottle water shimwa na kwen
aba yes so that we can recycle and it's look me yes so my no me ya na ha me udru baby a gata na si ewura ne plastics kwane gum
that's a sense empro and you biodegradable
no. Yes and the sad thing is that ye the guma na ama gata na chuku ne nsu ato na yira be fine na ye fra ban enra ade a na metwam wo so amemi hu ya na ha me se sa glass ye ya pile up egu kwa ho say ye I am sure so much trends are buying baby but let's not forget say when our turn there no and now make a profit. It is your responsibility say the no you dispose them of properly also when ya say pragabia and I say momo say sabolebi no ma best no ma disposing of we cannot
continue like that.
We cannot continue like
that. So I buy a share on that committee there.
Oh yes, we'll try our best and push for proper legislation too.
And we am Swami for na e de okoye.
Yes.
Majority leader anabo sa achievement supposed to some chey.
Yes.
So onko bio. Na mo hwe mu ahu se wo e na obetimi akwa akoye adwuma. Issue na so. Last Swami for adwuma de enye izo. What you say?
Honorable Chairman Sabonsu why ye be abwa NPP or my Ghana ne Swami.
Yeah.
Uhwe na braba babonu wiase or the 28 years some Swami. That's some NPP or the Swami Ghana. Ti maybe a menya kwan bia ya na medana se ne sumpa our sum ye. So we are very grateful for his service. Ukraine may call Parliament Obiti se me fi Swami. Swami, the last time we share no Parliament, me catch and say, me ra office behind who say me Swami. I hear me true say, hey, I want to be replace and there are sometimes NDC for no create me. Okay, me can okay, I will Swami, so yeah, no wonder. And it's a power, okay. And I think the longevity helped them to cement his legacy in Parliament. Why are dear? Is a big shoe. I see that, and so there's a lot of expectation on me. And minim say nyamiadum and nimunyina mumpaibo and my church and support gradually will fill the shoes. But look, I don't think say I'm there to fill the shoe of anybody because you see, a human here. Nyamiadom Iran wa energy and woko. To say I have to chart my own path.
Sure.
The media me so me de beboa me constituency no. We've had great presidents after them no. people probably never thought that there would be greater presidents, and we've always tried to exceed each other. Look, Bible crowd saying here, says, "Oh, we Chechenia, so it's me crowd, a bit me be sound, and we must always aim higher. I don't think that, like we said, to fill the shoe into a achievements and standard, we should be able to go higher and above, leave a bigger and better legacy after our term. Me say, Brebia, Minianum, so I'm forward, but Mamma said, Mensumu woman, Mensumu, we and I'm a Cotinefia. I should be able to look back and be proud of what I've done. And I believe, say, also my conscience, my hope and wish, say, Umbiti baby, I can say, you obedi anim say yakasa mafui or ye ne de boy constituency. That would be for me the best. Say I'll be fulfilled to hear that after my service as an MP of this constituency.
Honorable said okay. So I'm for here's the automobile industry no how a potential area. You wait me I be pa magana ni kumasama. How do you
I mean in fact, when my debate on the SONA, one of the issues I wanted to discuss, I was actually timed out, but that was one of the things I was going to address. But I already have a statement which I'll present to Parliament in due course. It's already been submitted to the Speaker for me to read that statement. First one, magazine. I am worried. I'm worried for my constituency in the sense that baby a yen nipa dodo na including nyina ya adwuma hoda enye adwani di ewo magazine, but the magazine a nyina nim no the hot area Serbia no is becoming a pale shadow of itself as a lusu the allure a lusu adia kura no no. There are so many issues, but one of them media the invention of electric vehicles, because I guess maybe about 60 to 70% of Ejuma magazine engine and you have a situation where this engine is going to be phased off. Now a brabia electric vehicle no many gaskets pump rings the combustion engine, they are losing their job. So how are we going about it? So I have a statement which I'll read in Parliament, but for me my suggestion is that look, yes, the world seems to be moving there. We shouldn't be too quick, even though it's something that which will eventually come. We must, as much as possible, exploit what we have right now. And for me, it leaves even the oil and gas industry. We have oil. You should be able to use the oil. You should be able to get people who maintain and even continue to use this combustion energy vehicle for a long time to come. But also in doing that, we must prepare for the eventuality. So EV vehicles to become the order of the day. How do we train our people? My papa will be already 50 years, 60 years. I feel now could train on how to fix electric vehicles. And electric vehicles, it's an engine into battery. Into a juma a be year free. So for me, it's a worrying situation. I believe, say, many about Kwana or one magazine who do common maybe. Or say, maybe you can say be a car crana. You have to get to a point that you better take parts of vehicles near you say near no krumha.
That's the way to go.
Look, I didn't know my friends even bolts and nuts. I didn't know a beer. It's a rim crana. You ain't pay a group of people a bit train room say look, you rim. You can imagine say it is say you import rim beer from anywhere in the world. But the mode car nearby, you be making sure say you be rim maybe you soon krum.
What I can start a cry with bonnet and fender.
Exactly.
It's something we can
easily do.
Fabricate simply.
So that is where I'm going to ask my people to let's begin to look at that. So the because you know it reduces our import burden in 8 million man or your vice our magazine engineer
Kessben
or shop our chronom. He's doing so well.
Okay.
And no, I say it's a vice. Yeah, this share a day machine ship na ye channel with the addition with the addition of a try a hodino no try we import it. No, you be a Ghana. Look, here he was telling me that no can beat me. They are solving most of our problems. The demand is so high. Or no, you be a bit me. We here see a baby na why expanding the company. Say the a big import because it's sad to be import. And nema I no kroma you see here there be a chance to be quite import.
I be about I can say yente so nye anyama no ha. So by untimi nya import bill no akwa.
We really need to do something about it. Meaning yeah man. I'm afraid for our country, and especially
then our food day. You spend $2 billion the credit.
How?
On a walk with that.
Oh yes.
Oh driver, how do you feel? Or how do you feel?
How is it that we are unable to farm 24 hours and across every day of the month?
Yeah.
Now, Oshe say in Sutobre no best need trema. You esim omuti wa twa say nsu to best samba. Oko abrocha Canada from October, November, December, January, February, March, April. All right. Won't mean Adrian. Won't mean
because of the snow.
Because of the snow and now. It is summertime. Bare 5 months. No. Won't mean the Adrian. A tomb be at the bar abontina. I didn't need to be any the whole year. Every day of the year.
With media.
With media.
The moment what say. There are no short period of farming.
So something must be wrong with us. And I think that look, even though the political leadership should be held to a higher account, any panels so no. Meaning say we person acquire farming or here asasi we here more kakra aban but any pompes mu yes adwuma ne mo wo enta wo machi encourage you and they will because we a farmer cry near you know, but that shouldn't be the case. It's me in ya.
Kewdi.
Over. Yeah, trust me.
Wo bibi busa.
Some no dey baby ho. What busa be 1 or 2 bi. Na ye koye ni. So aka bebre dey afa na mpeso so but I want us to look at Ghana holistically. Niema I also Ghana ye wakaswa me de ene nkro baba Ghana as a nation. And then go see a team ya o see a team gina brani. Yedikaka say and the young call IMF young depending on foreign donors and as for Bekoba ni ase buabisim ni asan abayachi. What do we need to do as a nation? Remember a team gina ama yankase who say and ye gina independent ya dear Wankasa.
I think the solution is not so complicated at all, and I believe that every politician in him, this president knows it, and I believe that Dankwah also knew it. Look, eat what you produce. It's as simple, and produce what you eat.
Sure.
Look, say they are not a fapema. There's nothing we cannot do in this world.
So what has been the problem? You see,
yes,
half of the solution is given.
Yes. So, but you see, a political will. And I say, if we are seeing us here, the one question we are seeing under the World Trade Agreement, and you know, my friend said a bamwa. You mean I say, you ban the importation of rice. You can see, I just see internally, but because of all quota, won't make us woman and quota. But any to me, who says, we don't need it. Then you'll be able to me for so.
But me say former Agri Minister Kuto said, no more quota. So that you can't bring it in quantity.
But you see, so the downside is this. Say, would they, if I say 10 bags and ever, or money here 20 bags. 20 bags, no, 10, the deficit, no. A better yashim, and then you produce no ha, and they produce no ha. na say me fan say after maybe after 2 years it may produce 12, 13, 14. Yeah, my import to 10 bi. No importation will be reduced to 5. So bibia yeah no, because the ama all these other countries are progressing no. Bibia proudly made in England, proudly made in the USA. Come see a to my dear. Because you know what? Anytime be a better microphone way, and I say share and I'm pabo if you're breaching your creative employment. Oh, Kwabena aye any akoto any diaba. Sure. See yen wa ha. Let's see a toy dia the same way no. Your creative employment no ha. It nipa be brain ye adwuma ha no. It's because, for instance, obi yam pabo a yen to. Inti first we the nipa 5 na ye adwuma we ya yen to na afi we reduce nipa number 2. I create an employment. So see to me a consuming ma ye here ukrum hano ye produce dia we will create a lot of employment. Now we create employment like I said, we pay as you earn, bet your taxes never about betting the bia kwan. Because otherwise you hear see ye kumasi ni akra kwan. You need sika ye de because to agije no ye de tu adwuma police ni doctors ne nurses ka wi asa o se ye kwan na nti o se kwajibosia o kwajibosia no so a whole conditionalities na achichiro. We need to start from somewhere. I believe we need to start from somewhere. Maybe this government with the overwhelming endorsement on bet me I can say so me well empower bet me I say you know what, let's do something. Look, me I think that say aban bia ba or say ufa one area say me pese e bia hankwa na me boma yes me boma ho atete so that's it.
To me ye non kwa na bia I think it's okay. No be bad. That has been our problem.
Is it media for me the solution to our problems? We produce what we eat and we eat what we produce. As simple as that.
Right. I'm say Obranenti. Budget in the baby.
Definitely. I'll be available even on phone or when I come to class. We can always discuss it.
The what's me chat out the jar your tea for next swam for mouth for he na they say.
Yo, abusan for me they make and they say yonko so mompaye ema oman no. Monta machi mompaye so mame so amefo. And I always say even the Rajon Dramani Mahama mompaye ma no. Say the beya say or adwempa. And I always insist say na adwempa ama oman no intimi emrem adwembone dia nyame ema ne mpaye. But adwempa bi o mo ma gan mompaye ema no say the beya obetimi implement it. Na aboa ama oma ye tumpom die nyina ye wa no se oma no edi ya ye nyina ye bedi na menua no MPP for so de bia Michelle ma de mekan se me aba mu die si nyese bi nsi da NDC for say no mu number mu parliament no just 14 seats more than what we had. When we had 169, they have 188, just 14 more seats. And so it said no matter to me about from where they were, matter me abe do baby dear. Yes, so me am but yemma you say yes party nonsense.
That's right.
I've seen so many people talking about presidential primaries na we na me pen. Look, me the message will be fair non trenching. If you are going to war with the horse, now say the horse is sicker. Whoever sits on the horse will lose.
Okay. Very deep.
Yes, the most important thing is that the horse is strong and alive. And no, what do you beat na horse no so? Ubet me the akudi nkunu. So many and people when try na yam share party ni ye. See the why do you feel go na who said you see yes share party ni nyina den. Ma obi amfa the so-called interest na ne main focus. As obi ye bibia na or dream be a particular person be officer a bebo na be presidential candidate. Why yam build a party no. Okay committee report ni ba yɛnhwɛ na recommendation na woman no yɛmfa nya adwuma na megiri sɛ yɛyɛ ne sa party no a strong party we can definitely come back in 2028. There's no question in my mind. Say,
okay.
Yet to 20 mayor,
Which me
about power. See, I know I'm DJ Yankopon, on show be a
Onshra also. Lawyer John Dankwah, Honorable Member of Parliament for Swami. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Right, that's it. That's it. I mean, sure. It was for said what and commodity lawyer John Dankwah, Honorable Member of Parliament for Swami. One of his Honorable Sechi Mesabonso, a name, a skilled lawyer and a lecturer. What in of Parliament, Parliamentary business, why you cry check. He was a vice chairman of the Committee on Environment, Science and Technology. He's a member of the Committee on Subsidiary Legislation and also a member of Parliament on local government. Just a committee is sending in our Subi. I can't simply now a bomb pie. Yami Adom now, finance is a kind budget we are now. Fe ubi a committee also no. Fe are picking one after the other. Na fi sebo no ya hwedi na so ne aka match dwumedi na oguso a otie ewo Kessben 93.3FM so eko Facebook so ewo Kessben FM 93.3 Kessben FM 93.3FM so ye ni Kessben television so ene anopai desisi a material no se ewo Kessben FM 93.3FM so ewo Facebook so ho ena obenyae amampene His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wako Mali ayinkroba mako mu aba neighboring countries in West Africa no all building a strong relationship, a diplomatic relationship with Ghana main yenko tie bra call Mali na on Mali soja penny asimi gweta ekudi nkomo no wodin tonanim so behema trade barriers edwadie mu akwansidie nyina no ne nyina so ode atutu yie na yahwe ni nyina me so say video na ready a mama yehwe ewo screen no eso so you who no screen so a na ene na ye kwani because we have to see what is being played so video na ready a mama yehunu ha
parties to fully embrace the aspirations of Africa's youth, with over 60% of the continent's population being under the age of 25. Africa's future will be determined by how effectively we engage young people in our political processes. However, in many countries, youth remain on the periphery of political leadership, excluded from decision-making structures, and are often used as instruments of electoral violence.
Right, and your way, and I cannot way Africa ha said the mebunu. Woman so betimi ahwe na ya boa maburu apre maburu yedie no no e ho bi di na ye pe o mampani ko Mali no bra one Mali mampani asimi gueta ehia no no ho enkomo e na ye pe but eno achi no se de aka no mampani se bi bra ma horo mpanifo ye hwe se be ya emebunu ye be engage in all political discourse bibi ye farmer nyosem ho bia no emebura na made achi ye omusi nche ya eno so enya de a e be appropriate time in saka eno so a ye de ho sem enso e be bro sare so na Alexander Afenyo Marken se na Honorable ya John Dankwah be wie no okaye no MPP amanyoko no ye reorganization na asase from the committee of Maakye se committee ni nyabre na omonko tietie grassroots di entia MPP osoro kokunu ahwe ase kese pa sa na Afenyo Marken kire se obi anya botre na blame game we kato we so we akato we so munyai na person my committee no o ma ya adwuma wie di aba na party no pedo fo hu do me do se abre angremo fo ye chiriya wo mo ko Roman so ye Lent on say Lent no ye 40-day fasting Roman fo ye de twan Yesu amane hu no o mo nyina mo mpaye ma MPP na osoro kokroko no obesan asori yen kongo tie Alexander Afenyo Marken minority leader in Parliament.
It is to be expected, because when you go into an election and you don't win, it comes with a lot of such disappointments. But that was yesterday. Today is another day. The way to prepare for the is hard work, forgiveness, and a collective determination to sacrifice for the good of the party. Calling each other names, saying all manner of things on radio, social media, TV is not the way to go. I will plead with all of us. Let's move on as a party. We cannot say that everything was perfect, but even so, let's manage it internally. The party, through National Council, has already mandated the Professor Okoye Committee to undertake some work. Let's all be happy about the outcome of the elections. It is to be expected, because when you go into an election and you don't win, it comes with a lot of such disappointment.
Way a honorable Alexander Kwabena Afenyo Maakye, minority leader in Parliament, and I say, Okop and I say, Okwabato na odi nkugua. Ijanema bebre so, inti blame game na we see na we na ye, and we na de koye na mwani ade no. Omunye nyina tonche. Now, Chair Professor Michael Kwabena committee report on the bano based on the report, the findings of the committee, and a part of it the reorganization by say baby to abua ma ubi enso to me who the air crow. Now, Yanko Tie Honorable Samuel Ebujinapo, he also made a statement on Dumso. Can you say no? In Yanasosa, Idumwa in Chedie, Visokra dem made ben nuna sakra. Abujinapo akawasem say Dumso no esa bebio ana say it say over the weekend and last week the Minister for Energy so also share all the various stakeholders in the energy sector. I been quite a fast one. ECG ni mom henkania so no ometime enso ejina brado yenko tie John Ejinapo ya the Minister for Energy and Samwaka for abana monto awoto say energy sector no enema esubetumi akoyi
at over 80 billion. The energy sector we inherited is riddled with poor infrastructure, huge unsustainable and mounting debts. At the last reconciliation before cabinet, Kessben, the energy sector debt stands at over 80 billion cedis. ECG's receivables stand at only 8 billion. And so if ECG were to collect all their receivables, we'll still have a shortfall of more than 70 billion. But what is more worrying is that the debt keeps ballooning and increasing. The infrastructure, very, very poor. And what we used to call excess capacity now appears dwindled, and we have to start preparing to increase the capacity in order to meet the demand requirement. We require about $700 million worth of liquid fuel in order to fill the fuel deficit, because our gas today is inadequate to meet our fuel requirements. Consequently, Cabinet has approved a raft of measures aimed at tackling the situation in the medium, long, and even in the short term. Cabinet has approved that in partnership and in conjunction with the Finance Ministry, we take immediate steps to construct a second gas processing plant. This gas processing plant would augment the shortfall and increase supply security. Today, let me put on record that we are not shedding load. And so the demand by the minority and some people that we publish a load shedding timetable is mute. When you are not shedding load, there will be no need to publish a load shedding timetable. In fact, as we speak, we are exporting about 300 megawatts of power outside Ghana to Burkina Faso, to Benin, and to other neighboring countries.
Way a for John Ejinapo. John Ejinapo is the Minister for Energy. So for where in Amode on some sort of and our telling say government is not shedding load. Or they say load shedding be anyhow. Now see I cry export 300 megawatts. Not just say just say nyama abro so kakra. So the question is can you na a dum no if the one person address the woman the me name say who kania no be 1,000 megawatts na aburo so a utumi to bi ma omanya obewo But what feed you torch ma? The one na kwaya pama auto be man on won't mean you on the no. Go on the contract. Agreement is agreement. It's a balance a year the you do no. It will mono de almost see a mom constant flow of power. Ya pama to swibe to amakasi ya. Vivi touch my gun, I had him gasi a watch into your modi and the a pamba ko da energy contract and honti was it currently your excess supply. Yeah, Togo Benin near Deno, your ma womo bear 300 megawatts of power. But never call come here say Ghana. Your building install capacity near bear 5,000 megawatts. At that time, no, Ghana here a little below 3,000 megawatts. It's no MPP buy bo NDC force was the here no mako jim fidie bebre America power near de bebre bego na ye bo ho kakeke take or pay reach say minya generating ko ade so one so wetua meka. Say was fidie no say nyina ye mutu. I say very soon no yesa confirm fidie no bi sa be ka ho ebio. Secondly, Ghana be here see be build a second gas plant. Honestly, a atoable gas plant. John Mahama, the first coming, and a kwaje bosia $1 billion. And would be see as toable gas plant. A boy, I may say gas no, you the Yana Ghana ha, and at Wapco West Africa gas pipeline for us to be back. Also, say, I see a building a second one, eka home. This is long overdue. Say, okay, thermal plants in Fidino. So what the gas, a canon from. Ba akoto light crude oil begum a ekosro di amagana yen kan ya bo osro pa it yetimi power your plants no with gas a ebema cost of production no eso ate aba from ama ye ho hare afien ko tie Felix Kwachi Fusu, Minister of State for Government Communication ono so den central food in commerce mampani kwel cabinet meeting last week no ahead of the budget the Ghana for hwe kwan se beba budget to ne binom so ka se wo aba no afa presidential staff ni ade bebre agum or sending in our yankre. Listen to Felix Kwachi Fusu.
I'm happy to. But regarding the 2025 budget, I'm happy to inform you that Cabinet has approved the 2025 budget, which was presented to it by the Minister for Finance. And the budget will encapsulate the economic and financial policy of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, for the 2025 financial year. The budget will capture the state of the Ghanaian economy and bring Ghanaians up to speed on what exactly we inherited. Yes, the President made incursions into the state of the economy during the State of the Nation address, but the Finance Minister will present greater details in terms of what we met. The budget will also respond to the economic crisis bequeathed to us by the NPP administration and indicates some priority areas of the Mahama administration going forward. And therefore, we expect that it is a budget that would speak to the hopes and aspirations of the people of Ghana, based on which they gave an overwhelming mandate to His Excellency the President. As I said, the moment the Energy Minister joins us, he will do a briefing on the energy sector. But regarding the
way I Felix Kwachi Fusu, Minister of State for Government Communication, and out this work budget in more some more Ghanaians who expect the air crisis finance minister bar, whatever to you. After your Casade appointment a buy na yeho. Some of us hey, with Kegum.
President Mahama will come nowhere.
Presidential staffers no. Don't say there some will be in a poco kind or say on my appointment no entra in baby at another crowd the tape cry. The Ghana phone chain. Definitely you see how government staffers at the office of the president and so and okay.
Will come nowhere close to this number. So currently there are 30 people you can call presidential staffers or presidential aides, some of whom are classified as directors who work under the office of the president. We are in the process of considering support staff for those who work at the office of the president. And we can state emphatically that it will be nowhere near half of what the MPP did when they were in power. So let the records be set straight that any claim that President Mahama has appointed 100 ministers and is hiding some in the presidency is blatantly false. The number of ministers who have been appointed is 56. The Honorable Jinapor is a member of Parliament. On a number of occasions, he has been at the appointments committee where he has joined the vetting of these ministerial nominees, and so he knows that there are no 100 ministers. And then when it comes to the staff at the office of the President, President Mahama has committed to reducing the numbers drastically.
Okay.
And therefore,
we AFL's contribution so the okay. Yanko tie mampeni Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Call Mali mampeni asimi gweta ku share Bamako. Okay, say trade barriers. Agedi wa kwesidi da Ghana ne Mali ntemu nyina no. Omehwe na oma yini nyina so afiro. Na afiyemra ebedi nkomo.
As a brotherly country, everybody knows the historical relations that have existed between Ghana and Mali since the period of our first presidents, Modibo Keita and Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Ghana and Mali have had a very close relationship. And so I came on a friendly visit, and also to thank President Goita for allowing Prime Minister Maiga to visit Ghana when I was being inaugurated as president. That was a good sign. It was appreciated by the people of Ghana, and so I came to say thank you. But we also took the opportunity to discuss issues of bilateral cooperation and trade and economic cooperation between our two countries. We know that for a very long time, our countries trade amongst each other. Our people travel freely amongst each other. There's a big Malian population living in Ghana. They are involved in business. They are settled peacefully in Ghana. They're actually citizens of both Ghana and Mali. And so we had the opportunity to discuss how we can make our economic relations even stronger. And
we His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on also echo Mali Hinkroba Mako Mochese Bride Nisia Kunyasono Mali Mampeni Asimi Gweta or Sujani to the Prime Minister Manabai and also also reciprocate Sajestano about say Ghana and Mali in Temono as you Mamenka sende or Mampeni Eko Burkina Faso na Hansone Adamatwari Yonsi Mamperondi on Mubai Onana kudi enkomsabe ya Ghana ini amani eche honshia no entamu kutahudi no so ebetimi akọ ekama na gadam say no oni msasala na meka ha se mfidie ne gum dika over the weekend yan ntie se tax force no makwa akọche excavator mako edu bulldozers Tano Anwea Forest Reserve omakwa akosisa excavators yi wo ho a enya agrokra na we enchi Western North region na say okay last week ne apadenchra is consensus chairman Kasai was enya no kre say me see task force run kwan ebra no mo ba na forestry commission na afei asojafo ne kabo mu a omo akwachi sa excavator mako du na no da nchen so a omo nya nipa echi wo mo ya che say nipa ya che omo nyina omo hwe kwan say obetimi ede wo mo enso afabra kwa so nti gala no Observe, I'm focused on Mudio. Muda. The minimum can say, oh, yeah, I was here, a chief dinner, Yabisi, or call ya who must have the Fidiano, Aquacurum. Goody, you go just somewhere. Nay, come back, there will be a Becca.
And some no dosso, Rebecca. My fan to dress a nay. Where we school, make SHS, na an open video in your chair, so call a year school, Pornaby, now so could Shadi, Nanema Conin amount. Ebi a resource no you uphold you. Ebi a na resource na you say, and the man said, Ankuye, course ya dem ma baby a ono Ankuye mawa. And nunti ena Kessben University College e honum. Yes, abre ya kase ye be apono e de amamo se why crowd so be ko school no kwa de a yen so ya crowd so be boawo e ma wako school no de hia ne se SSC no ana wasi ukuta aye 3 credit passes our course subjects no meka English, maths and integrated science and afi wo course area no so and also ukuta 3 aye credit passes a ukabuma meka 6 core areas no kabuma M 36 na wako pick form ewo Kessben University, a campus a wo edum, and I say multi-credit savings and loans branch be a across Ghana, Obenyebi, and I fee Kessben Media your office is a one crying any Kumasi do any chima hosu ubenyebi na afe wa pick form wa feeling kama na ukoi courses are your hobby any say any your business administration accounting options no accounting your marketing human resource management banking and finance science Bachelor of Science Information and Communication Technology computer science and entrepreneurship Bachelor of Arts, Media and Communication Studies, options in print and broadcast journalism, public relations and advertising. Your other programs, your Bachelor of Arts, Politics and International Relations, Bachelor of Arts, Public Administration and Leadership Studies, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, Bachelor of Science, Midwifery, Bachelor of Science, Logistics, Procurement and Supply Chain Management, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science with Entrepreneurship. Ninginano, ye be and so on. Now, dear the women's school, no, ye dear who abo Kwabena Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. More and my certificates, no. Now, dear Tiana said, yes, our diploma courses, or honum, say, went try, and also a bit to my Maakye, now wait to me about a diploma course. We are mature students are 25 years and above, Oba, and also Maakye or honoma, all those certificates, never pay, not just wait to me and Maakye free. And paying for 0501 6373 83 0501 6373 83 and 0264 170475 0264 170475 na angels.
Afe CFAO equipment obana air freeway say if you be na ope say heavy or medium duty truck ya wo de koye adwuma the construction haulage some train near ma e de akogu warehouse ne ade a truck kese bi a ope de aye adwuma bia ope medium duty truck o de distribution mo amode mo ne anwa tomatoes ya de supply no excavators a wo de construction agriculture and mining operation machines forklift and de ka ho nyina no CFAO di amanfo ajatum se hode okoto heavy duty truck biara unu hoda wose CFAO mobility Ghana fidi omode aba no ebi brand bit se Mercedes Benz Fizo Shackman trucks ya nyina no beso butumpa construction equipment ye free level afi quality Toyota forklifts ye chepa super comfortable buses bus bi outem na de kokwa atente a onte bre ebamne mu kura onte ti mu amokọ long distances no mu amokọ takrade elubo enkran Togo ni ade ni nyina hamile ne Burkina Faso Mali Niger open bus pa de long journey a ni nyina CFA so mo e de biaba Africa ties ahodo nyina sa kasa kese nyina trucks ne buses ne passenger vehicles nyina no open ties ata obenya biato e wo CFA o hwemacha kwa Kumasi dum Harper Road ena omo ena won kasa wo 0202 221 407 0202 221-407 afi 033-22 022 201 033-22 022 201 eso. Okay. Afi my main camp for Kessben Travel and Tour emfa emma se obi apeso tu kwan akwanto nsem nyina no fa beda Kessben Travel and Tour adwuma mo ye ne se so utu kwa akọ ma bi so ebi kura na wonko hoda onim se de hote ba bi a wokoda flight de wokọ ticket e so to no ne nyina Kessben Travel and Tour for ebeboa wo se unim ba bi a wokro no a eso mutimi kire se ukuduru hanom a hotel we ne reservation ma wo na akọsoe ho a wasombajuwo afi flight bi a wo schedule wa hwe a obayira na o play kra betu agyawo ni nyina no Kessben Travel and Tour bema sa kwantu ho afutuo nyina ani sem wa bakran se so your businessman na so bi a wo ye dwuma bi na o pɛ ticket di akwa amono ne akodi dwuma bi aba oba Kessben Travel and Tour mutim de free can buy ticket on credit na afi wakɔ aba oba abetua umpewe na apede yi anopai fa konto hu nsem nyina beda Kessben Travel and Tour kuma se dum as the house abosem first floor eno wo eno won kasa 020 943 4999 020 943 4999 so from then no more any ngita ho my message na kakra na afi mra ke odi so na ye shase any nkomo or say I would like the government to make buildings of high-rising houses for rentals to give citizens cheap accommodation and also help to control the indiscriminate sale of land for private buildings. Ghanaians should save more money for investment in business than paying exorbitant rent advances to private landlords from Kwabena. The dia what they ebaye and so and no. Masaudu from Bantama. This current administration has been in power for only 2 months and have already borrowed 67 billion cedis. This is a testament to the fact that the state needs to employ strategies to make up for the revenue shortfall instead of adopting the populist approach to governance, resetting Ghana agenda indeed. Okay, teacher Kujo from Tepa and Suso. Okay. Also, President Mahama should know that Ghanaians voted for him to get on with the job instead of always complaining about everything. He should start complaining because we are aware of his incompetence, but we voted for him because we thought maybe this time round he will prove the doubters wrong. Greetings to Chairman Odino Kweku Apia Kuka. Eric Kweku Bwedi, patriotic voice bichim. Propaganda that brought JDM and the NDC into power will expose them when things were getting tough because we warned Ghanaians, but they don't listen, or they didn't listen. Now reset is already here. It is clear that President Mahama and his NDC has nothing new for this country. Ghanaians should not expect anything good from this budget 2025. Teacher Constitution from Yamua say Ghanaians, especially the youth, should start crying because there's nothing good in the budget to be read by the finance minister tomorrow. Is it the 24-hour economy that Ghanaians want to hear? Or Ghanaians will regret if after tomorrow, because the 2025 budget is hopeless. Greetings to Honorable Mavis Hawa, Kumsin, and Kuka. A champ from Kaudi Electrical Atonsu Station. Tomorrow's budget, I'm urging the NDC to scrap the betting tax and e-levy because they campaigned against it strongly for the youth, and the youth voted against the MPP. So the youth are waiting for it to be scrapped. Again, Ghana is a democratic country. And why President Mahama is mingling with those military leaders in Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Guinea. Asemu. Masaudu from Aswa say, first of all, let us commend President Mahama for his visionary leadership in taxing his finance minister to ensure that the maiden edition of the 2025 budget reflects the realities of the Ghanaians. By prioritizing first-hand engagement with market women, this approach marks a historic moment where for the first time, Ghanaians are actively featuring in the central government budget process. This demonstrates a commitment to governance that truly listens to the people and seeks practical solutions to salvage our livelihoods. Godi, I'm not kakra. What is your pick?
Na me share the finance minister. Medical share my expectations for budget in months.
Okay.
Na nyamia duma the interaction na only traders na ekoye wo makola no. Medi hon mu komo kakra. Yesha say no yen kan say Ghana yen plans are the good people so say be ya betimi de abo man no ho bra. Afia wo ye nim yin ana say afia yesimu yin. Me de me ehwe nim ne say before yet to aba ama mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama aba na enye bi ewo Ghana hanoma na Ghana fo hu se bi abanya wotwe mu kono amwa wo mo enti omo expectation se ebe abanya wo be ana se omo koto aba edi yi abanya fro se wo ya oba no o meye sade no mam de di kan ye kai 11 no ho sensem epie pa abanya wo be ne campaign o de to se oba obeyi sa 11 no e de free ho de tosu mienu eye betting tax no emission tax no ne nkro ne bana any taxes ahodo a na egu ye port so ne ma import ba no obeye from Ghana for ho ahen ane omo. The question is the mbusa no say so timi sa ne mo wenyina free ho no ma inshira ene sa ben obe nemmum oye free ho no ekwan ben na aben oba no wo be fa so asan gadaska aboaye ho no o se nchemu be yie pa say or the tax offense and the budget ne ba o se nchemu ebe yie pa because ya te say omo say omo be ombe widen the tax net no amelitimi cover a lot of businesses I will say in Chimuba because this is not the first time I yet here. Say a baby bab on Tobe Casse, and nay, ye be taxes in Rama Akova, baby, you know, Nanipa Kumebi, and the atria taxes na. Still, I do how any of my name, a barber tore a year or month or so. That is one. They are also two. Hey, the first statement, and I say one of the first statements of Mampeni, Ghana, is a Katama, Atwapi, and nay, was it a nyekra. Now yate enye. My expectation be say again, yenchira kwanya ebefa so a sa enye na ye ka ho asem no ye de enema besisi wani manim ye betimi agada sika amagana anya sa besia na na ebekoso a ye bebo. 2 on tre no on correlate enei IMF policy wo ho magana ene kwanya ye fa so agada sika na etimi abo magana because ye jina campaign trail so a ye nkasa ye no e say ye beje power but the reality on the ground no or say on my who say weni am de gu akwemu a ebeboa emene sikasam na ye kono sa massive borrowing na ene ye kasa be 2 months kro aba betra ba mu aba be 66 billion Ghana cedis ene ya gino ye hekọ ebetimi afaso ebetimi aketeli side because we gina parliament and the state of the nation's address akache Ghana so I John Dramani Mahama I will fix it. So we expect and say these things must be fixed, and then in relation to IMF policy, one other thing I may expect is the roll out of the 24-hour economy.
Policies
critically and I said expansively. Areas when 24-hour economy. Ahania deko when ye be yentimi nye enkro wenum so ne betimi 24-hour economy no yamana a time span say enu say na be etimi cover a number of people say betimi employ more etimi enchiremu ye ne wo say Ghana of course ye koto aba ema mampeni no sanema no odi aye adwuma. So that is that ma memra eye Kessben ato ba forcing so Friday no obomoden ebo anan ekopie mu ewo eye makola any market woman no echo chia ofa me ka se me ache we my personal experience me ka say me we training college for a post to me na ye de me ko baby a any district capital na ye de me ko na me come district office akwa jime letter na officer no ho oh yes ko e ho no ye aduane wo ho wo bibia umre na ma mbito no busanse na ayembia wako hopen o se da bi was we asemini kan ani
the onko hoda no o se corner aduane wo ho bibia ho onko hoda most of the time say you touch base with our people na sebi ye budget na mom na aya na eye. It's very good to go to the base, listen to their concerns, and then address them our budget. And I think say that is what ato forcing yeah and anu fiada wodi in ni echimo wakaya owura kojuba redu before be reading the budget. Most of the time not tire sanema no. But the only difference between ato forcing the no any kojuba then kojuba no ko earlier. Enti na manfo wa rehyiemu say enya dan ya obetumi consider on the budget statement. Now about 4 days to the budget. And of course, so it raises a lot of questions. Say Adiano, a year for the optics. And I said, truly, he meant whatever he said. And I said, your koko ye no. Say yes, be a seven to propaganda near so. Many man for interact. Just about 4 or 5 days to the budget. And I mean, someone for raising concerns. I would be honum. What I was saying is, let's wait and see. Say, and some non young because I'm raising a lot of issues. One of them, taxes on some. Eduane ane boy ding omko importu ne mana anase eduane om de ba sa ne mani nyina no ye hwese ne budget statement no se de makola form obe reflect wo hono ma menchire omu entimi mmemme yi
okay
da be no call bakola
okọ fiada if you because the time span no
fiada na okọ ye no na cabinet hia age budget na to mawie
so ebe dey time
because after the cabinet meeting now and now call Makola market.
What is it for? Is it for propaganda sake?
You see,
and I say it's just for the optics.
Sad way
politics.
Make I say friends Professor Kwesi of blessed memory on the chance 80s no asa na obey budget bia no bo se on sata na budget a ye bobo ne ma nyina abo milk ye sei cement ye sei crazy ye sei 80 before se Kwesi be budget no correct akubu santos nyina bia abo asa na obrodi no budget but wait the idea Friday na Felix Kwachi for be catch say the president is chairing a cabinet meeting. Na owia the budget no wasembe to dwa no. Immediately after the meeting, and Felix be catch say cabinet has accepted the government fiscal policy for 2025. His idea ko chimemenda.
Na okoho.
Na say finance minister ko Makola Jomo a. Say Jomfo catch say ade we ka uyi free we be ya. Because the president has already accepted the budget.
That is the question. That is where
I told you, I told you, why are they? But when you are, onion and term kakra.
Right.
Preparation of budget,
oh yes.
Sometimes they bring experts in. So we don't offer experts back. And on my bomb on my day. On my special government change be normally previous finance minister be or knowledge in later. Budget no preparation you be adwuma. Budget you be adwuma wosua. It takes a long time. Yes sir. E be ka 1 week bi no ko obi dia.
So I want to say if it's not for the optics, na enye propaganda is a very good step. But the why you know ameni aba ho say it's just for the cameras. Now again, ye ne say no enye makola fo nko a ena sabio I also a buso margin and sign a budget. Meaning background, whatever they've done. But so we be a yin and nim Akomakolande. There were other areas of Senkutimi Buana Echo. Now on your so interacting. Now Uti almost swagging. Now I feel deba. And areas SOS, FNS, CSOs who also new mudin como engineers, friends saying artisans, woman keka huning in ano. And this is propaganda. And a year. Let's just wait and see. Budget no e de be niema e na e be piem e wo honma e betimi ahwe amagana yetimi afa ntuma papa bi efra e me budget a sabio ye ka se e kate cost no e be wiase no na esa kofa e katwitwidie e na ababeto Ghana for so ye wi a nse e ya na eta ye media budget review
yeah
me hu media budget review a ya e ka so ska no ye hwe a ye koye ni my project a e bi be kantie de be ko next year de bia no this is a kafufro
e bi ho a ko je kakra be soso bi so ka so ye nyi bi soso bi ho na tax bi ho na omo a relax na kakra yes sir
right and so these are the areas I'm looking at say nyame ya adom ochena oba e be ready the budget na the Koshia Makola for them kind of yes, markets women. Yes, at least it shows some kind of belongingness. But I bet to differ say a nemana ecosono. Ya budget reserve of a decachemuno, and tea and some and so no. Over. Yafa and no emfa and si ho. Right.
So Galam say, then Americano.
I who say
excavator 10. Excavators mako 10 na weekend o makosesa
ofa
kwachira banfu gumu a say de ye kan de o monte kra
yesi usu na meye say Ghana fo ni abre na ye kan dendenden no that's why most of us ye ka say ye nyi party politics and free the fight against galamsey ho say ye hunu say ye man Ghana na ye kwaje na ye de ye nua and I say we were a party nti you be treating us kid gloves and the kid gloves they be treating no na say koyo opposition bi na ye de ya ho de nyina be ko a baby a ye ko galamsey no ye be ko asan be si echi ni ntimi enko galamsey no. Why am I saying this? The reason being that enye na nsenya na regional minister any your friend saying land and forest your friend saying natural resources natural resources minister
Kufiboa
e bag asante mantem hanuma o me kan sem e kan reho a etu ba bi kwa na say eye honorable Amakofiboa wonsu
usukra nke be
no so be yi but people
odan okoya
no mo tell gusu dikadika and then you can your friend saying western of home baby chairman na say o makwan apade o mo nko no because who say ya ban na aba And I say,
and I know you're not into Casa, or say the view, or so on Caso Momonco. Also, a balance is sir. It will be a nipebia from Radashomosem, no more on site, edge JJ, the small scale minus if we feed you. To not pursue who say, a oppression be on by best of Galamsa and Nipa Bonfubi.
What is
and about Ebe has small scale minus
business day?
Also, small scale minus in your bomb.
Abayan Casa make a statement that he's fighting Galamsi. Abayan make a statement. This is just just to defend yourself. Abayan make a statement. Oma making on the floor of Parliament. Oma making Ama Kofibu Akawasem, the original minister, making a central economy the Yadu edition. But there is a fight against Galamsey. Nase people are almost who said a team comprising armies and police foreign as if one go say Agrophobia now more nam into Omonko into Ubusa. I know it take how many minutes. Not to me who say Abian Crophonum Kuta, the right and requisite of a permit. I also to this mano. And I said, what to me, so your friends and chairman 90, what to me do to me stop woman. What was the to me and fighting Galamsey the next 3, 4, 5 years. I say basic Ghana yen to me swear. Yen to me and swear. As some na ya can sana has ye didi agrono. Ye can because obi bottom ebe ya de. Ye can because I say obi enya nsi kapapa binti. Ye can as obi adwiregu baabi. Ye can as when ye de no enye me. Ebe kwa be swear nyina. Say do 5 years from today. Na se ye krensu anoma. And a man for who said ye can no. Obi nka say ye ntu from a good.
David. Yes, that is why we have a problem. What we are saying.
Acquire your first to at the end. That is why you have a problem. And then the young couple on their money. By your finance to whom of a mechanic paying mean to Sabi. Yan finance to whom. Now you and two quails your first to Tunua. 5 years from today, said the Omo predicted, you know. Ghana back crens you. Near Crensianoma. I am Musa, baby, I walk a US home. And I US. Omunum beer.
Germany.
Yeah. Omunum beer. And there you
Germany, a second World War. No. America for life force don't blast all water bodies in you.
Ask them.
This is a beer.
Ask them. No more crime for some bread. And then offer Hanoma, Utu well a union shoe. And nay, na contaminated. Nina contaminated. And some can a very serious issue. But I say, a baby or baby piano, not why because the Hunipa Eshim, we should rise up as a nation to fight this canker.
Okay. But I say, and then the amendment share a budget statement, no. Na nyame anu chna e de kro be nya brand ya analysis ni pa na obi anso hunu de wo mu abai she bo se honorable lawyer John Darko kai say e bia e-levy ene betting tax ene COVID-19 levy no on be yi e de afrio according to KPMG report no Sabai kase was scrap e-levy betting tax and COVID-19 president levy na government is going to lose about 6.4 billion cedis. But just calculate how modu pa DSA tax me and generate mine no. It is a abayi e-levy COVID-19 levy ne betting tax na says ka we bonwa. E also copy says can free baby. Na ode be share anemu. Na no ne yate share communication mobile phone kura ya ye kasa so yi o credit ni data na auto no e no na ye de beto so na okoto data but already na data no bo den dada ye de koto no so a na ya scrap e-levy ya scrap COVID-19 levy na ya scrap betting tax me no bi enya adwense ya scrap betting tax wo de yentwa e-levy yentwa COVID-19 levy but betting tax there ebusuafo I'll say it and say it again on any day. I do not agree. Dr. Baumia Kaso will be betting tax mu. Mahama Kaso ba betting tax will be tram. Menim penifo mienu bia nyadwen. As a nation, we are teaching our youth who are the future leaders of the nation that they should not work. They should sit in their rooms and engage in betting. Ebusuafo so wako baby ako hu mrante ya omo engage in betting mu bia orebe ho you enter there uhwe ne dan na otimu no a ade ebo ho aye television screens ena ni mobile phones ekurekura no e de fra no pa e kopma nwumre no o se dem onko ba bia o monitor matches ne ade e twa ho bet saa ye de to so sometimes ye de to ade bi so a in economics no enye bibia na de to so say ye giska de amaban. There are certain things we are taught to discourage people from doing it. So it's great to say yeah. Can any no? That's great to boom man no much less on number be na siso and that's great ye makwa kra ma mo ho dawru. Ye makwa kra se bo ho dawru. You do how benye bi atode. Nanso package ne kra ho no about 3/4 of the package no ye say factual warning egu ho. Says Gary smoking can be harmful to your health. Tax said that's one on Yasam Ketoa. Why? Because it kills a number of people. Betting tax is to discourage those who engage in betting. They say you see a be betting tax no everywhere. What it means is they say we are brand here. Oh sorry, enye juma. Uko cha wangana crowd here say say. You know when they try bet, oh yeah, be my brand here. Oh sorry, enye juma. You know try bet say weekend, Friday, Saturday, say Champions League, but Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh dear, say them one shisha matches na boom pel 25,000 akodi a buy you one city crane free so. Is it the nation that we want to build? Or my person say near person no. Say you be pem edwuma ma mabu na ye. To me can I allow bet here? Can you bet 50% tax on bet? I'm telling you. If I were to be in government, I will impose 50% tax on betting. So which are 10,000, about budget 5,000. And then we will use the 5,000 to create job for the youth. What tax now where do you know? A friend said, bet now where do you know? Kameji mu fa. Nama de fano e bien yuma ama mebunu enye biaye. So that we can discourage the betting and create jobs for the youth. You see, tax kakra that's what you be everywhere. The everywhere. Also, there may be one mind more. Enipa here onya quick money. Na Bible so bra Nyankopon ka che nipa se enkoye adwuma no. Wo se wani mfifire mu e na ubedidie. Kopem se obesa akodotem. If say wo ye dotem na you free ye, na num na abesa akọ. That is the word of God. It is decreed and settled in heaven forever. Psalm 119 verse 89. Was forever, O Lord, thy word is settled in heaven. Tinyamia sama was settled in heaven no. So we nipa someone in fifre and san what did he? But because of betting, you know, we are pushing the youth to say in someone in fifre. Cause them nature bet na ucha bet na udia de opibi a obinya. Now we encourage nipa na sa no ucha bet na ye ne da. Obi be fa na adwuma se me ye adwuma bra be ye adwuma ne da krome mark 150 Ghana cedis a. Ebusia for obeye. There is a construction work. Nebi a pe libres. A brand here with them. Ya conference bra na contractor ya usi dan or pe libres. Okoya one day oba mark will be a 150 Ghana. Bet no said them a ocha no nim di onya. I can so feed them a single enko construction work. But if the tax is so heavy, na se ocha na we ni kra na se still tax da so a, it will discourage them. Mo he o man na ye chichi ni yi. Na politicians ya amfa enema bi a populist approaches amfa anya adwuma. Say ye person mabro to abama ye nti no. Yes, scrap betting tax. I don't agree with Dr. Bamia for saying he was scrap betting tax as a Muslim. And I don't agree with President Mahama. So on also finance minister onyanka ide, but that's what we have heard. Say betting tax may be scrapped tomorrow. We free hope afedi e o say ya attack you for why yatede. E mabro do mpe bi ya omeye. Iti mum ya ma na ye chichi ni yi. Ni ahwe ni yi a we are breeding future generation a omye lazy omumpe adwuma ye. Aho. Se nipa oye adwuma na osam fifire no nya sika. Ebusafo hwe so yi pa. Dina politicians na omoye we semisi nya sika bebre die no. Omde ma guess ntoto ka ara ke do beboa. Aso Oscar no wa mra o spend ya. Oh. But say someone in fifre pa ansa na wanya sika e hard earned money a ikrawa ohwe yi You go him say free one sir. Who break asan why they when you be? Why should we allow betting to take over our nation? You guys will be at me. Na talk a credit that's why. Kebe yere tonum. Na tonum ye dua. Yaka okay. Se nipa so betwa beta adwuma ni honti no otwa. Se the whole year beta man for bedi wo Ghana 1 billion Ghana cedis. Na se timuji mu 500 million. 500 million on tienti bi mbie fatu be ba akumienu bi. Ya be fa mabu no kakra no makwa akoye adwuma. And if you start doing it like that, you get to a place obenya adwuma ye. By James say mabu no ye nyi betting tax o monto aba ma enti ye nyemu a. And no be na magalamse ne fighting na ye den no. Sa principle we enti na yentimi and fighting galamse no. Because you touch galamseyers and they vote against you. Because your best fighting galamse bia no a ye ka say mo amoye galamse nyina obi e nyai. Mo amoye legal small scale fo nyina so mo nyina obi a dey nyai. E chepe na small scale miner no ono wabo katoto mfidie na ne bo ofu aban no. Echepe na galamse ano so no so nyanko ye nyan kolikoli nya bibi ni na ne bo ofu aban no. Ye nto aba ma wo. Dina aban ni suro na watwe break no ayi ne sa. Sa na betting tax yete. You don't say MPP lose because of betting tax. I don't know what research brought that. But if that be the case, then unsunti say yanto aba ma yenti no, you be betting tax or there, the nation is doomed. Baby o my ne kon ehu. My hwene me ye. Right, I have messages like kakra na yemra. So by tomorrow, good government shall remove some of the useless tax to make Ghana reset. From Steve Wonder from Achuma Kwabena district and all the way a free a buyer. From lawyer Boache Eke Buche Asinuya Soren Quantania Unity Police Station, it's my prayer that the budget to be read tomorrow by the Honorable Finance Minister who address the pressing needs of the good people of this country while hoping that taxes such as betting, e-levy, emission, etc. will be scrapped and no new taxes introduced since Ghanaians are suffering. Happy birthday to my son Kwame Usubuache. Buche, tax in the ye free what they are at the for beba because ye free only and for ma the revenue shortfall no I am a for cry. I expect the finance minister to make the budget within the revenue that Ghana can generate within this fiscal year, i.e., the expenditure should simply match with the income, and stop turning the budget to a manifesto, and stop mentioning projects which are not feasible even when given 4 years. Not to talk about this fiscal year. Again, should be open and sincere to all Ghanaians what our income can do to avoid unnecessary borrowing. Lastly, the minister should reduce the salaries and allowance of the so-called CEOs and sector directors just to cut our coat according to our cloth and not according to our size. With this, Ghana can have a future. Otherwise, Upuku Mensa, Abrepo Junction, all the way free a buyer. Koresko Zakaria Sunyai, Ghanaians have decided on President Mahama. The expectations are high, but I trust President Mahama, that he will deliver. The promises made to Ghanaians will not be in a mirage. Anti-corruption drive, what a solid team. President Mahama, you do all. We will support you. Greetings to BOT. Good morning, I'm hoping tomorrow budget will be the #1 in the history of Ghana. Greetings to His Excellency President and his ministers. Rashid Asokore Zongo. Rashid, good morning. Tonkache. Shipman Atonsu. As the government is set to present its maiden budget tomorrow, I would like to see the government being truthful with this by removing the e-levy and the betting tax, as JM promised, and we voted for him. Ghanaians can be taken for granted. Regards to all MPP media patrols in the Ashanti region. Amas Abogobo official. President Mahama will send Ghana to the promised land. Let's all rally behind him. Ghana is the only country we have. Dankwah from Yinahini. NDC should stop the excuses and stabilize the light for we Ghanaians and stop putting huge taxes on telecommunication, because what they tell we Ghanaians during campaign is what we are looking for. Greetings to Chairman Kuka, Lawyer Bafo Wamensha South and Honorable Nana Osu Secretary of Achuma Empunya. Good morning, evangelist. You asked a question that if we have excess fuel, then why the power crisis? Is because they have not yet removed those MPP members in the energy offices doing their propaganda on also I am Kim Dave. Over, please. Good morning. Most Ghanaians are waiting patiently to hear how the budget will capture the importation taxes if Mahama-led administration are able to minimize or decrease importation taxes. Prices of goods will also come down. No edie ya wo de ebae no brother chair pa so said the edi kai ede etu dwa no special guest on the show this morning, honorable member of parliament for the people, good people of Atwoma Mpunia Waha, honorable set or say Akoto Breno Afina Kwabena honorable mame mo akwaba
you
bacho na hoye de you bacho be kasa mo no mame kakra na parliament to say call yen che de na so nim sebugu so a mo hese de adwuma no sekro
yo mini a wa mama kwanya de a na me paso acha me peso asufo nyina.
That's right.
Na baka tiro mu se me do ma se bebre uni a obusa me a se ba parliament na e wo no a school on its own and to yakofo fro say no ye de akọ chere no kakra aye be gira so de adi adwuma eno na ye wo nsese
adwuma no hu say the share na edin na say ma fan difficult
me nyi di say din bebre ni nyina say wankasa ubenya mmere ama ho na osu adwuma no bibia wo wiase bia edin na mo di si wani so say ubeye no aye ni yedi a ubenya ho mmere
so here MPP for mododo no so atipa di na speaker class mo ye micro minority I say there be we mighty majority.
Yes.
Which my mighty adwuma no
sisi se na mu nyina mu sini mu no ye 88 almost so no mu ye 183 and independent for kakra ka ho nipa nan no bi kura wo asante memu ha omo de akoka ho ama ye 188 na djumadie no mimi huru se nipa dodo ene edidi djumadie no na emom abronisi nipa wo hon sebe se ne omo ho keka efa no ene etimi didi djumadie nya nipa dodo a omo parliament ho ana mi hu no
na kakra makodi no mrase badwamu who no saying the speaker coming from the background of the ruling party ne omodom omwo have they been fair to you kona na 87% ka asembi abakra omo nipa miensa kasa na bo ba akwa kasa de mo sorry tiaye
no kure sie da fe ni yakọ na ni omo atra ho ache na ebi nsida se majority wo doson na minority fo so ana minority fo afede de ebe kpede se ye bechichim se nipa 188 no obomo 7 slots na ko mama 3 na 4 eno ko fa chinyidie kase bai na that day no susu no na speaker na ankasa ni ho na speaker abedi ekire otoso mienu Eurasiama na na tie adwam ono so kana adwene se wonu de oni eku dodo no enya adwen na emom yentima amonopo ti ada yewura no speaker no abetre adwam and we see no pose me emfasa nchichimu no mba enti no se ne ye ne dada no yenkoso enye ne saa enti se ubusa me se yewura babi adwuma wo ye no a mekasa me de mekasa so far so good
Mampani Mahama enya abosume mienu pe so wo hwese de wosi asase no a obeka sei
ubusa me a de be firi ekwan a ofa so hye no na so afo sese mo amuni no onu ko antimi ni dwuma no eso ofa asoafo ampa oyi na asoafo wo hye boss obefa aduosia ampa wayiya mnakoka enan yes so no appointment committee for eye nipa dodo no nyina ka bom ama asoafo no atoto ma no ama o ma start eye adwuma efi se ho wabon homoden there to subiu oba yensuso na no buy at the State of the Nation address and so by and Sunday bri o kakan ebi wo ho a ye mu bi ene nya adwen and so na ye mampanin ene eden krata ama no na oka the so hwe sa no ma mienu na face so oba yensuso Ghana ha nyina ayedi obi ehwe de obeye ne fa de se obon homoden ti eguso a ye access no nkakra ko na emum so far there mejide se obon homoden
budget ebe what are your expectations almost share boss e-levy betting tax be year free KPMG for so me free ho aban be lose be 6.4 billion yati so me free ho communication your mobile phone cry the taxes be near there ba there na cry
media amanyo soma aye no edurum rebia na aye asefim kakra aban ya ban o free suwe yenim se nipa ho adwuma ne ye si yi sa tax no ena nanka beboa o man ni nipa ewo mu a kam gidi se ye na enso so enam tumi aye penti no ye beke kansam no sa say sa yi levy any betting tax ne de akeka ho so mo di share mo manifesto mo so mo ba first budget mo year free mo no ena ho sonsanso na ekuo bi de abetu dwa no se yi sa levy no free mo a e de na de sonso ade na de be o man yi se ekoba se esikasam eto apia begidi se ebe ha o man na so nam se omodo omo no akanti na amanfo hwe animu no ye hwe omanim china se enfa onya budget ni nwie no na wa Ghana for atise wayisa yi levy na firi ho na so de ebinum no se ye yi levy na firi ho ne betting tax no ma sa de tax foforo ye den asan yaba enu ba ye bubi yesuro ye hwe ni mu nya mantie ntimi nkan wasam kase na emom se sika tuturi die be firi Ghana efutuo no mu na be de anya sika e de aye amanya som e de bia ye o man ye hwe na nim
honorable our position on betting tax and say to me a idea was say you discourage meburu no nanka betting tax kra nka ye tum wow position personally
but mia obusamia me gidi se enya de papa as ye de shema brun so ama se bisa bisisi no emrantie bebre empa adwuma omuso adwuma no ho aye de kakra de na enso so office se betting ebi afa ho anya sika nti no mesusu memfa me ho nko wuram betting wo hwe mu ankatetewo no enya de a sebe nko bia wo ba kire obusuani ana wo ba se onko ye bi nti ekoba se ye de betting tax no enoma mienu na negum ye de boa amankasa betting na ye de abafom ene bi msusu dwene se ye de pisika na wo hwe percentage a betting tax no wa se de pisika ke se yetu ye de ba se me madwene mu de ye de ba se ye de ba na emebunu no a omde asi omani so omde sebe adwuma enho aye dene de na so ka bi so a wore no ho pa adwuma foforo a ka be ye no omdu mu akoyi no ko mo mu afiri tubu sami asa na mekire madwe
revenue afoforo said the okay ye kofa foforo abesia na emu yi enim say where Abana target said this year obe generate 200 billion. Ebi hunu se Ghana nipa etua to no a na etua. Bebre no a yes anadwuma ne ade bebre omu ntua omoto. Mu se kwa be never so ebe robo sa nipa nyina in. Ni ya wide in tax net na manko bi etua kakra.
Mimi ya kasa asemu yi.
Ya kana dada. As politicians monye
ache de bia baby obebia e koka tax ho asema. De kan say yemiem ye biemu say ye biemu na akosi say eno ma si ye hihye na ye di biemu no aban bia ba no abeka ne trasa Kessben na de agina ha ne agina minu ya hwe dan a e wo kurom ha dan e wo kurom ha sa wo ko amanone a sika e di free sa dan to no anu nko a ya de mu a eso ha se ni a hye no de to so biu sa oba informal sector carpenter for plumber for electrician for woman sika omogie
no nyina dai hodwe ya no mo ye
adwuma omogie no eso so ya hye se ebetim do mu nyina abeka ho dabi aba na ebebiem ne ebebiem saa ne ye no ntimi se obu sam se 2 billion no this budget na ba na mahunu si hye nhyehyeye ye nyina di so a edi sika no ba me de menyini se ebetima nya sika no na enya maaye ni nti no ye ntwen adamu makwanya bie no maba no na fe me ka ho asema manasi na maka ho manasi na nti saa de a da bia ye ka saa asem yi esusu ntimi nye sana mpesa meka
yeskai kakra ye nya no ya saa asem nyina akokra aduane ba da bia politicians moka enso planting for wood boy a job buy ye kakra ye hu de kusi ye say $2 billion ye de kra aduane ebedi Ghana obra broker free show fichira efifiri eti honorable omo tumi kra mo politicians no ya mu sa de ya na ha mo
minua mi am ti hoyi mi agriculture ni pa
okay
eho nam de abom me bra mi adwuma ebedru director of crop services
okay
the planting for food and jobs no na me ka ho ene ye na da bia ye kase ye kraduane enye aban a otwa mu nko ana na okraduane o
Kessben
every ni akraduane saa besine de wo mu no se sika ne ye de sha agriculture mu no iswa omu koma putu kwa ye declaration senka afibia no budget a ye de makwa agriculture no kayemfa 8% of national budget no emfa mu kwa agriculture busa hu se sika no ye de ma planting for food and jobs 4 years na ne diani mu no ni nya asase kakase kakra free budget ni mu
yeah
enu nti na ma ye hu mfaso ye ku enimu a covid sem no baaye no na sika asie de sade sha agriculture mu e ma sade no a ye nya ye no etena ho no anko nti ama e de na sisisi de ne no an ye de ye bekra e mu si ekra nuani ni bi na social planting for food 4 years a bro a more a normal buy so ya be no normal buy na doso a doso free say ye de sika sha agriculture no at that time it is a budget ye be ye me agriculture committee me ka ho ye be hwe sika percentage of the national budget no ye de ko sha agriculture say antimi amfa ansan ko hye mu dia e de da bia no enuane bi ho a ye bekra se susu no e ma ye timu no nipa bebre a develop taste for rice ene aduane efiri abrochire ba efiri se ubusa na osisa mu sei upese ono a enye sesia no wawie obi betikura tibi kase fufuo somo nipa miensa ene nanu pese mu di fufuo a e ka wo mu no eso enso mo so de sesia no wie ni nyina sesa ni aduane di ayedi ni aduane ayedi sesa no na ni timam ha no yasimi nyan hyehyeye emie ntimi nye saa ma aduane na madea ene da bi be kra aduane tu bu sa mi asane tie
arabo komodo ye de nenso ye bre no ayebe se watimi enu hantam ye nim se budget ne ba wie dia e benya bre na afi se kwadwuma no pa ne hia yen se be die be die se ka ne ntimi nya die be die se yetimi dia da yen krama
ena ma kire mu se
nti
o man bia sabe otimi reach full security the full self-sufficiency ye disikaide eshim
okay
so ye discussion for a maybe a short medium term and long term so sa na se ye hyehyɛ no na ye discussion mun de next budget e be ye no ne disika ketwa bi akohyem ye de kohyem mu ade na beba and more your potential see etimi dua mu se be kra kakra and so sika do be ye wo hen ye here irrigation facilities sika ye de be ye irrigation e wo hen ye de sika ketwa bi kohyem a ehun sunsanso na e de ye nya tomatoes ni normal ye kan ye se e kofa firi Burkina Faso ni adade ni nyina ye enhyehyeye so baby bedroom rebi ne tomatoes abu ukodwa so a
ne go na pro intimi process
adie ene ebetuma ye de ebetuma ye de se ese ye heda di sika adai kopa sika efra madon de se sika we die ye de bo ho ban se ye be ye sa processing normal no ana ye be ma ankra ye be sha ankra so ye be ma omutumi no makopesika no de aba no da be sa normal ni nyina ye nye nti sa normal de de be de anoka eso ye ntimi nye ye ntimi nye so de a ene ne da bia no ye be kra duane na manaba if you say amam obi otimam help duane adi de se ntimi ne ntimi nua de a
ene se kra dollar ya so ne de
kra ene dollar ya kra so ne de kra right nti aye circle ene ye ko
kwa ne service ye arabo nkomo na ye de nenso ye bre na ye be inim se budget ne ba wi a ye benya bre na afi ahwe kwadwuma ne hia ye pa ye nya bre ne wo ehia bio na ye wo asebi etwato de ma atwampo nuafo omutie na no pai na ye
me kromfo sabote me nkana seto sakuto na nimu di nkomo
that's right
na de meka no se ye to abai enche bosumi nu kra fe ne ye normal ye be ye nhyehyeye Kessben na kakra yeso ebetima ye ema impuntu a ye pe no yensaka wo ba me peso aso a no man kitinkit ensuo sem sebe be kura ye ja na kura no kuro bibire bi ni so na mi busa me ho se sebe se wo tena na wo se abanko na onye sa anoma no mfama wa enye yi enti me de sisa amanyo sema me be na suma mponua no pese me ne ekromba ahemfo obi akabo na kakra ye betuma ye no ya ye na afi okosire bi afira ban mu a na akosire e de abeka
so okay
na emom se be bi eja nan kra mpo no wo de ato se bi aban na mfasika mfiri emra me ye abra ye nia timi boaboa ye ho kakra ke betuma ye sa spirit na de ba atuma mpo na ema no man kitinkiti bi wo ha ema nipa asetena mutu mpon yetuma ye na fe wo kosra na kosra be soso
okay
na se de ni beto so da bia na aban na da bia na aban so eba wo na wa sabi wo na wote ho obi kura be sra ho no se opejanai na se bi ni kuro no so a sabi ni wu kakra
okay right
nti bi tira mi kromfo nyina na ma hye omu nkran se omu nyina yenye ko sei me nya MP ema MPP
ya bi
me nya MPP makuru
atwampo nu nyina okay
nti obia sabi ma ba me nsam obia sabi bibi how na se nyina betime tu ho anamo no ensuro emfere na bra ne nyina enkyerɛkyerɛ adwene na kakra betima ya na da
right
me nhyira obu nyina so mo so to abama
amen
na afesu so mo so mama makonya
right
said na memra ha na mso no mbatwetwe nkobo
right ana yara sipi ebranu nti nim se brɛ foforo no besa no honorable set of sakoto ye mraso dwani amanfo wo atwema mponua se mu tie pa mu nyina so moatene nka brɛpɛ mu no wo se communal labor no se yesade ba mu nyina manka bia meboa bi nye bibia na central government abade bi ba na mosom hana busiafo de dwumadi no enso esiotie honorable set of sakoto MP for atwema mponua Kabla usu Dankwah ewa ha saranso na malam yaya ni adwo akyerewa ne bobu answia no enso edema yen mede ne kofi apia onyame ya do kyera yebese hye sorry na Sir Joe Lakabe transe ona bejafo no the midfield action agodi mu nsem no aba. We'll be back tomorrow morning.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Gotta pay some bills.
From back in the day, when Afro hair was trending and children had to queue to play Kojo's video game, Fun Milk was always irresistible. Today, it's an after-school source of refreshment. For you stuck in traffic and for us looking to cool off under the sun, the invitation is always that sound. So, whatever your choice, Fun Milk quality products keeps you cool and refreshed. Fun Milk triggers so much fun and excitement with just a blast of a horn. Fun Milk, spreading joy to everyone. This advert is FDA approved.
Fiera de bio. Eura, shoka say you want to approach that. What is? Come on to any of them. I'm not for Abeni. We are 1 week now. Want to what? Metu Fifia. Hey, I say, Mempa gone too soon. Be of ya. And to say,